Hello and welcome, guys. My name is Rolf, and today we're gonna tackle the introduction to the object-oriented programming challenges. So start. At its core, software development solves a problem or achieves a result with computation. So the software development process first defines a problem, then presents a solution. Object-oriented programming is one of the several major approaches to the software development process, and its name implies object-oriented programming organizes codes into object definitions, and these are sometimes called classes, and they group together data with related behavior. The data is an object's attributes, and the behavior or functions or methods. The object structure make it flexible within a program. Objects can transfer information and by calling and passing data to another subject methods, and so on. So let's start. Create a basic JavaScript object. Create a dog object with name and numlex properties and set them to a string and a number respectively. So dog name is Lassie and numlex is 4. Use that notation to access the properties of an object. So did we've done this before. Uh, Print both properties of the dog object to your console. Console dog. Is that it? Print both properties. Okay, both properties. Name numlex. Okay. I've already clicked this. So create a method on an object. Using the dog object, give it a method called say legs. The method should return the sentence this dog has 4 legs. So say legs equals um, function, and then it says should I return it or console? Return the, let's use ES6 string interpolation template literals. This dog has this that num legs. Note that punctuation matters. That make code more usable with this keyword. Modify the dog say legs method to remove any references to dog. Use the duck example for guidance. Say what? Method to remove. Can I use this that numlex should return the given string. I don't perfectly get this instruction, but Uh, let's read the tests. Should return a given string. Your code should use this keyword to access the numlex properties of the dogs. Should return the given string. What string? What is the given string? Let's get some help. What is the solution? What? I haven't read it here. I want to report that question. Create a constructor dog with properties name, color, numlex that are set to string, a string, and the number respectively. So let's create a dog. This that name is nope. Let's say Wilson, and then its color is pink. Have you seen a pink dog? And numlex equals 3. Next challenge is use the dog constructor from the last lesson to create a new instance of the dog, assigning it to a variable hound. So let's create a cons hound equals new dog. Okay, next is create another dog constructor. This time set it up to take parameters name and color. Parameters name and color. And have the properties numlex fixed at 4. Numlex equals 4. And then create a new dog save a variable terrier. Pass its string is argument of the dog and color property. So should I initialize it? Dog should receive an argument for name. Const dog equals dog new dog. Terrier is the variable name. So let's name it terrier and its color is brown. And this the name equals name, this the color equals color. By the way guys, if you notice a slight pause every time I run the tests, I'm pausing the video because my internet is not that good right now, so bear with me. Next is the verify an object's constructor with instance of. Create a new instance of the house constructor, calling it my house, and passing a number of bedrooms. Passing a number of bedrooms, then use instance of to verify that it is an instance of a house. My house, instance of house. Should I console it? Instance. I thought it was a camel case. Okay, understand own properties. Add the own properties of canary to the array own props. Canary, the okay. What did it say? Let's just copy this one. Property and canary. What? Adding a console is wrecking the tests. Use prototype properties to reduce duplicate code. Add the numblex property to the prototype of dog. Beagle dot prototype that numblex equals to iterate over all properties. So add all of the own properties of Beagle to the array on props. Add all the prototype properties of dog to the array prototype type props. I think this will do too. Beagle I hate it when they are spoon feeding the users, but we can't do something about it. Understand the constructor property. Write a join dog fraternity function that takes a candidate parameter and using the constructor property return true if the candidate is dog, otherwise it is false. So let's return candidate that constructor equals dog. Return candidate instance of dog. Okay, I use the dog. Okay, I'm gonna use the constructor property. So let's console the constructor first. Candidate that constructor function dog equals dog. So it's true. Let's remove this and booyah. Next is change the prototype to a new object. So add the property numlex and the two methods it and describe to the prototype of dog by setting the prototype to a new object. So wait a minute. I'm just gonna, my feet is hurt. I mean numb. So let's try to read that again. Add the property numlex to and the two methods it and describe to the prototype of dog by setting the prototype to a new object. So it function. What would be the function? Describe function. Dog should have property numlex. Numlex 4. Let's go to the next challenge. Remember to set the constructor property when changing the prototype. Define the constructor property of the dog prototype. Okay, constructor here is a dog. Okay, submitted to the next challenge. Understand where an object's prototype came from. So dog, the prototype, that is prototype of beagle. Understand the prototype chain. I'm gonna read this. I don't know the prototype chain. All objects in JavaScript with a few exceptions have a prototype. Also, an object prototype itself is an object. Because a prototype is an object, a prototype can have its own prototype. Okay, someone messaged. A prototype can its prototype. In this case, the prototype of bird prototype is object prototype. Modify the code to show the correct prototype chain. Okay. Beagle. Object prototype. So beagle is here. Okay. Next. Use inheritance so you don't have to repeat yourself. The it method is repeated in both cat and bear. Edit the code in DRY. What is the DRY stands for? Dry principle. Dry principle. Don't repeat yourself. Okay. By moving the it method to the animal super type. Is this the animal type? Animal super type. So this is super type. It function num, and then how are we going to use that? Animal and animal. Okay. inherit behaviors from a super type. Use object that create. Oh, what's that object that create? Animal that prototype that eat equals function nom nom nom. That animal object that create. Okay, and so forth. Let's use object that create to make two instances of animal name. Duck and beagle. Okay. Object that create animal. Should I include the prototype? Okay. Set the change prototype to an instance of a parent. Bird that prototype, duck that eat. Duck inherits all of the animal's properties, including the eat method. Modify the code so that instance of dog inherit from animal. Dog that prototype equals object that create animal that prototype. Oh, it's so hot in here, man. Reset an inherited constructor property. Fix the code that constructor and because constructor return. So this one return their respective constructors. Bird that prototype that constructor equals bird, and then copy paste this one. Replace this bird into a dog. Duck that constructor should return bird. Okay, let me the constructor should return bird. Bird the prototype, let duck equals new bird. Okay, looks like this is an uppercase letter instead of a lowercase. What? It's wrong. Still wrong. Let's uncomment this one. Okay. Next challenge. Add methods after inheritance. So add all necessary code so that the dog object inherits from animal and the dog's prototype constructor is set to dog. Then add bark method to the dog. So the beagle can both eat and bark. The bark method should print woof to the console. Add bark method to the dog. So dog that prototype that bark equals function console that Largo. What did it say? Dog should inherit the eat method from animal. So let's dog that prototype the okay, object that create and use the animal super type. The constructor for beagle should be set to dog. Dog that prototype that constructor equals dog. Override inherited methods. So override apply method for penguin so that it returns alas, this is a flightless bird. Alas, this is a flightless bird. Penguin, the prototype that fly equals function return that. So basically what it is saying is object methods are immutable, so it can be override, it can be changed. Use mixin to add common behavior between unrelated objects. Create a mixin glide mixin. So let glide mixin equals function, and what are we going to do with this? It accepts an object glide obj that glide equals function, and what would it say? Console.log gliding. Obj is not defined. Next is use closure to protect properties within an object from being modified externally. Change how weight is declared in the bird function so it's a private variable, then create a method getWeight that returns the value of 15. So change how weight is declared in the bird function. Let weight equals 15. Then create a method getWeight. This that getWeight that returns the value of weight. Return weight. Next, understand the immediately invoked function expression. Write the function makeness and remove its call, so it's an anonymous immediately invoked function. Write the function makeness. Let's wrap this into a parenthesis, then call it, so it will become IIFE. Okay, your function should be anonymous. Okay, use an IIFE to create a module. So create a module to wrap two mixings, execute mixing, sing mixing, fun module to return an object. So let's create a fun module, wrap two mixings, fun module should return an object. Execute mixing. Let's copy this one. This entire code, and let's fix the bugs. Okay, comma. Okay, this one will become colon, and semicolon isn't necessary here. So let's fix the spacing here, here. Okay, is that it? Okay, that's it for the object-oriented programming. Thanks guys for watching.